It's the official podcast, and we're back. I'm going to change the format up with the things I like corner at the top. Are you guys ready?
What?
Mm-hmm.
But we've been doing the things we like at the end for like 20 years now, Charlie. You can't.
I don't like change. You're
Time for a change.
Oh.
Get ready, because I'm in a happy mood with something that I like and want to talk about.
Sure.
Okay.
It's Magic the Gathering. I've been playing Commander a lot and really, really, really enjoying it. Commander is so fun. It is so fun.
Wow.
Can you explain what Commander is? I don't know anything about Magic the Gathering. It's like you know how Yu-Gi-Oh has different formats, like there's Yu-Gi-Oh and then there's like Yu-Gi-Oh GX or whatever, like different mechanics. Is that what Commander is?
No, that's also not how Yu-Gi-Oh works either. That's not a format. That was just a different.
That's the name
mechanics.
of the TV show, Jack.
No, there's different.
Yeah,
there's different rule sets in Yu-Gi-Oh depending on what.
Yeah, they're Goat, Edison. Yeah, they do have different formats, but it's not Yu-Gi-Oh and Yu-Gi-Oh GX. Those are just it's an anime.
Yeah. Okay. The summoning mechanics are different though. Yes.
Yeah, I'll break it down for all the jocks out there that don't know Magic. So Magic has a couple different formats, and I only play one of them called Commander. I think it's their most popular one now.
Oh, it is. And like the vast majority of their players only play Commander now.
Yeah, and I see why. It's a 4-player format, so it's really like interactive. It's really social. And basically, you get to choose a commander, which is any legendary creature. So there's like 10,000 possible commanders that you can build a deck completely around. And it's just so interesting and creative. And since it's 4 players, there's a lot of politics is definitely the wrong word. It's sounding even nerdier when I use that.
Politics is the word, my friend. That's the majority of Commander. It's about arguing, making bargains, bartering, all that shit.
Okay, well that's not politics. That's pretty normal with like board games, like Civilization and stuff.
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like that, where you take like the nerdiest element of some traditional board games and put it into a very, very creative card game.
That's always the funnest thing about like board games and stuff like that, is when it becomes like a kind of like a mind game or whatever. It's like elements outside of the game tactics itself. There's like negotiations going on. I always love that element to board games. So if that's translated into Commander, which it sounds like it might, that's pretty cool.
It is very, very much like that. I've been having an absolute blast with it. Andrew, I see now why you were like really into Magic. I totally fucking get it. I completely get it.
Yeah, Commander towards the end of when I was playing was pretty much where all my time was. It's also a very new player friendly format because the way people play is very let's all have some fun. So a very good example that I would see a lot in group Commander games is land destruction being kind of not really used, and if it is, it's very, very specific. So land destruction is a mechanic in Magic where it says, hey, your resources where you play spells or creatures or whatever, those are gone. I'm getting rid of that. You can no longer do that. And in tournaments, it's super common. Super good strategy in a lot of formats all the time. Very, very good move. And of course you would do it. You want to win. But in Commander, a lot of people think that's just not fun and not conducive to everyone getting to play. So they kind of take that out, for example. There's a lot of that they put into the social framework of it to make new players, more casual players, more experimental players all be able to play. It's a good idea, you know?
So can you play Commander with your existing decks, or do you need to buy new cards for it specifically?
Yes and no.
Yeah, the only thing that changes is you can only run 1 copy of any card. And you can, I guess you don't need to, but you play around your commander, which is any legendary creature. So you could make a deck out of like fucking Bristlebud Bill if you want. Like, it doesn't matter. You can take any card and make it into your focal point deck.
Your deck also only can be the colors that your commander is, which sounds racist, but in Magic it makes sense. So let's say, for example, your commander is a Goblin King and he's a red card, just red. That means every single card in your deck can only be red or colorless or not, affiliated with a color in any other way that's not red.
So it limits the freedom a little bit.
It's very, very open because, again, we're talking about literally tens of thousands of cards in every category.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the thing that it influences is deck strategy creativity. So like, oh, I have that Goblin King. Well, I'm going to build a Goblin deck. I'm just going to have him do nothing but goblins. And that makes sense. Or you'll have someone else running the same commander, but they'll say, I'm going to do a one-turn kill deck. I'm going to set up all these pieces and all these things that work with him just so I can like blow up the field all at once. And it has nothing to do with goblins, you know, and you'll see a lot of different strategies based around singular cards just because it's such an open card pool.
Mm-hmm. So realistically, could you make an entire deck based around the commander being like Post Malone?
Yeah,
Unfortunately.
Post Malone has even played a Post Malone commander deck before for a video.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you can build decks around any legendary creature, and it's so fucking fun how creative you can get with it. Andrew, I'll extend an invite to you. I don't know if you know, every Thursday we play Magic at the warehouse. It's like 20-some people. It's a great time if you want to get back into it.
I popped in once or twice. I could probably start popping back in again every now and then. I still have a commander deck in my closet somewhere.
Show everyone how it's done.
Yeah, Andrew dusts off, hops back on the saddle, and just runs ass.
Well, I don't want to brag, but the one time I played Commander with Caleb, I won every single game we played. So I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
You should set up a smoke machine for his entry. Like the lights go all dim. He busts in through the door. Everyone like gasps.
It's like Stone Cold Steve Austin coming in to bust ass.
Yeah, the rattlesnake.
So, all right. So, Charlie, you're moving from Yu-Gi-Oh to Magic predominantly now?
Yeah, I still like Yu-Gi-Oh a lot, but it is. I just have to admit, Magic is the more fun card game for sure. And Yu-Gi-Oh, if you play pretty much any format or if you play any newer format, it's basically just 20-minute turn one combos that'll set up an unbreakable board.
You've seen the light. Thank fucking God. Do you remember when you were doing those big online Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments and you were grinding in them and streaming them and having a lot of fun?
Yeah.
And you said, hey man, you should try it. And I said, oh, maybe. I researched the format and it looked like the most fucking unfun thing I've ever seen. And I just never played it.
Yeah, it's only fun when you're the one that gets to set up the unbreakable board first. After that, it's just not interactive at all, and the turns are so long.
Yep. I just wanted nothing to do with that. I just knew that when I would be losing, I would be so frustrated and never want to play it.
Yeah.
Who do you think has the coolest audience?
Between Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yeah.
I think Magic has like a really wholesome nerdy audience that I can't help but appreciate. Yu-Gi-Oh, there's a lot of people that get super serious about it, and that leads to a lot of toxicity. I haven't really seen it from Magic, but maybe it's because I'm still so new to it.
Yu-Gi-Oh specifically has the biggest reputation out of like pretty much any fandom for being the stinkiest.
Magic can be really stinky too. Don't discredit Magic. Yeah, no, they can be stinky boys.
I was going to say, I think you're confusing Yu-Gi-Oh for Magic. Oh, well, actually, no, because Yu-Gi-Oh had the recent one where people left because it was stinky. Magic, I don't know if you remember, the iconic Reddit pose where the guy gets behind butt cracks and does like the prayer pose, that was a Magic tournament.
Okay, yes, but I feel like that might be shifting with like a newer audience, newer people coming into it, like a new audience, whereas Yu-Gi-Oh is just like fermenting in the stink at this point. It's only stinky people that continue to play it.
If you go to those tournaments in real life, if you go to card stores, Magic can get pretty fucking stinky. There are some people there that just do not shower. It is a thing, unfortunately. I think, Jackson, though, the cooler audience would definitely be Magic because it's also much older and a more complex game. Whereas Yu-Gi-Oh leans younger, is a newer property. The cartoon is mostly for kids or mostly watched by kids. And that, I think, just makes the game much more simple and less nuanced, you know? Whereas with Magic, that game's been around for 25 fucking years, you know?
To Charlie's point, I think the reason why Yu-Gi-Oh might be so stinky is because it doesn't get new blood in, and the only people still playing Yu-Gi-Oh to this day are the people that were playing back in the 90s. Like, it's legitimately just kind of fermented in the stink.
Well, then wouldn't Magic be stinkier because it's much older?
No.
Yeah, Magic is 30 years old.
Yeah, it's older, yes, but it constantly kind of is back in the spotlight and attracting new crowds. Like, they just had They just like, even you, like you're going to the warehouse and you got a bunch of like new people in playing the game and stuff like that. It kind of reinvents itself in terms of audience every, like, 10 years or so. Whereas Yu-Gi-Oh, it's very static. I feel it doesn't really. I think the last thing I remember about Yu-Gi-Oh was like the Yu-Gi-Oh movies back in 2000, and then after that, it's been nothing.
There were Yu-Gi-Oh movies?
Yeah, you definitely saw them too. Remember they had like the pyramidal light and the blue eyes shining dragon.
Oh,
yeah, they gave you exclusive cards when you went to
the show.
The only one I remember really is when Pegasus starts singing out of a helicopter. Do you remember that one?
I don't even remember that. Not
There's
at all.
some Yu-Gi-Oh movie where Pegasus is in a helicopter and he starts singing to a crowd, and it's like, how the fuck are they supposed to hear you over the helicopter?
I fucking love it. Since we're on Yu-Gi-Oh now, I want to take a moment to appreciate just how fucking unhinged that anime was. Season 1 of that show is probably some of the best bad television ever aired. I love it.
So Yu-Gi-Oh is a horrible show through and through, and it has one huge problem with its writing that they just never bother to address or give a shit about. It's that whoever needs to win at any time can draw the perfect card. Oh, Yugi needs to win this battle. Wow, he suddenly drew the perfect card. Oh, fucking Joey needs to win. He suddenly drew the perfect card he needed.
It's not even that. It's like the actual card game mechanics in the show are always
they don't exist.
Changing and nebulous, and they're just like, whatever needs to happen
makes
happens.
It even worse, doesn't
they
it?
fucking
Because
blow up the moon in one of the episodes.
That's when Yugi can be like, oh, I used my giant stone soldier to attack the moon. It's like, well, thank God you drew this giant stone soldier and he could do that,
Yeah. Like, no one knew that he could attack the moon either. Like, it was just some harebrained scheme that somehow worked. Pulled the tide away for some reason, so he's water fucking Yu-Gi-Oh!
You're missing some of the best parts of it, though. In Battle City, which was season 2.
Yeah, I remember.
I remember when I was trying to fall asleep, one time I was like rewatching some Yu-Gi-Oh! Episodes, and they're all so fucking ridiculous. But one of them in particular is the ninja episode. So my Valentine was like battling some dude on the cruise ship, and he's like, I want to marry you, Mai.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, well, you're going to have to beat me in a duel for that marriage, bub.
Right.
And she beats him. He's like, no, we'll never get married. So then he comes up with a scheme, and he's like a super famous movie actor. And he comes up with a scheme where she's walking through the city for the Battle City tournament, and he busts through on like a limousine. He's like, I'm coming for that marriage again, Mai. She's like, all right, you'll have to beat me in a duel for it. So they duel, and he's using ninjas. Yep. She ends up winning, but there was a ninja on a kite. Then she's like, why hasn't that card disappeared? And she's like, oh my God, this is just a real ninja. And it swoops in on this kite, picks her up, and kidnaps her for the marriage.
I remember that.
It's fucking fire. It's so good.
She thought it was a Yu-Gi-Oh card. But
yeah, well, because he played ninja on a kite, so he summons that card, but he actually had an actor who was a ninja on a kite that replaced the hologram and swooped in and abducted her.
Aww. I remember that. As a kid, I thought that was so cool.
It was fucking hype. It was so cool.
No, Yu-Gi-Oh! Was like, you can look back at it now and be like, that was the dumbest shit ever. But back when you were a kid, that shit was so fucking exciting.
There are so many cartoons like that, Jackson, man. I am totally with
anime,
you.
Though.
That's all cartoons.
So many cartoons I watched as a kid, and then you grow up and go, this fucking sucks. This show is just awful. But as a kid, you loved it and thought it was the best thing you'd ever seen.
All right, controversial opinion, because I know we've talked about this in the past on the episode on the podcast, and we all kind of agreed. You know what I've been watching to go to sleep lately that I've actually been enjoying?
It's Always Sunny.
No, but that
was a good guess.
Never disagreed.
Holy fuck!
We've never disagreed about that. We've always agreed that that's good.
Yeah, that show after
collectively
15 years is still hilarious. That show's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, what have you been watching?
Family Guy. And Family Guy is actually pretty funny.
You know, I can't even blame you, because I've been fucking debating if I start watching it just to see why it's still so popular.
It is actually like, when we criticized the episode, the Family Guy franchise before, I was also under the understanding that it was like just really boring humor and like very static animation, but it's at least the like first 12 seasons, they have some pretty funny moments, and they push like the line like pretty severely with their like dark humor and stuff, and I appreciate that. It is pretty funny. I still think
this is the worst conversation ever.
You go watch it and then tell me.
I did. I have. So like, I mentioned this before, but Tiana used to watch American Dad and Family Guy like every single day. And, like,
American Dad is like actually great though.
American Dad, no,
really good.
Hey,
hang on.
We have had this conversation. I like American Dad.
Yeah,
American Dad is
actually
solid.
good. Don't lump those two together, despite that they should be lumped together. Yeah.
Yeah, Family Guy is not, though. Every time she had Family Guy on, I thought it was fucking terrible.
Was it the later seasons? Because I don't know about the later seasons. I only watched like the first 13 and then I just looped back.
It might have been
Same
later
with the
seasons.
Simpsons.
I do not remember.
I have heard that it's the last 2 seasons are like a return to form, but I haven't, progressed past season 13. Because same with like any animated show, there's definitely a point where the creators have just run out of juice, and then they bring on like new writing staff or whatever, and then it just loses what made it special in the first place. That definitely happens like past season 13. But it's wild to me that the show still exists. Like it's, I think, up to season 26 now.
Yep.
And remember when like The Simpsons hit 25 and everyone was like blown away? They're like, oh, no show will ever do this again. No show will ever do this again. But I think like Family Guy has done it and no one gives a shit. I don't know how they're still going.
No, people still love it. The show is still very popular.
Still love Family
Clips
Guy.
of that show still spread like wildfire on the internet.
South Park also hit season 25. Yeah, I guess a lot of shows
now
are doing
that
it
one. That one I get though. That one I get because South Park has really evolved and changed over the years. Like it changes its formula. It tries to be more receptive to the times. Whereas Family Guy, they've been doing the whole cutaway. Here's a joke. Okay, did you like that? Whatever. Here's another joke formula for its entire runtime.
So the format of the jokes, the cutaways, gets a lot of shit, and I get it. It is a pretty lazy way of setting up jokes, but some of them actually do land. So
give me an example of one, because like when I was watching, every cutaway was like the same thing every single time, where it was like, Lois, that's the stupidest thing I've seen since Henry Winkler tried to tap dance at our wedding. And it's like, oh, here's Henry Winkler tap dancing at the wedding. It was like that every single time.
Manatees moving balls, yeah.
I don't know any of what you just said. Like
the South Park episode where they criticize Family Guy.
Old references.
It's a good reference though. There's that whole South Park episode. It was like a 2-parter where they criticize Family Guy's writing style, and they say that it's akin to if you put a bunch of manatees in an aquarium and gave them balls with random words on it and just had them float them around. That's how they write jokes. So they'd like move, Henry Winkler and tap dancing. Okay, that's a joke. And they just put it in the show. You guys haven't seen that?
No, I haven't. I
haven't seen that either.
Those were all just words to me. I don't know what you meant.
Yeah, Kaya gets it.
So I can't give you any examples. And even if I could, like, I don't think it would convey humor, me describing it. It would still just sound dumb anyway, so I'm not even going to bother trying. But I will say, my girlfriend had the same perception, and so did I, going in, like, that this show was, like, seriously unfunny and lazy and like, just dumb. Which it is dumb and lazy, but she laughed. She laughed a few times, and every time she does, I bully her for it. I'm like, you find Family Guy funny, loser. But then I'm like, shit, I find Family Guy funny. What's wrong with me? Yeah, so
you fall asleep to it.
Yeah,
but that's like comfort. I can't fall asleep to like super boring things for some reason.
That's so interesting.
You seem like the opposite human being.
Yeah, I have to fall asleep to something comforting. I don't know what's wrong with me.
God, this show is so good. It's putting me right to sleep.
Yeah. Anyway.
I am shocked to hear that opinion, though, Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I know, me too. Trust me. I was shocked. I put it on as a joke, like just as a meme, basically, and then I was like, shit, why is this making me smile? Why is this making me laugh?
Such a hipster.
My YouTube algorithm has been recommending Family Guy clips, just random cutaway gags. And about a week ago, I said, okay, fuck it. I'll try it. I'll watch some. We'll see what the show is like in the modern era. And they would say in the clip, like, oh, this is season 23. This is season 19, season 20, whatever. And I watched them for maybe 3 days, just peeking in on when they were recommended. And they never really made me laugh. Occasionally there was a funny idea or two, but it was just never... wow, this is hilarious. I'm laughing super hard at these. This is so good. So, more power to you, Jackson.
Yeah, you like what you like.
Yeah.
I'm not keeling over and like, hurting myself out of laughter. It's just like a smile or a chuckle every now and then. But that's usually more than I get from most animated shows.
What animated shows do you watch though?
Yeah.
The last one I watched was American Dad, so I don't really watch them often. Like, what animated shows do you watch?
Well, I watch mainly like anime or whatever. I'm not watching comedy animations.
Well, okay. Yeah, in terms of anime, the last one I watched was
Rick and
Jujutsu
Morty.
Kaisen.
Mortemeister.
Rick and Morty was genuinely funny for the first few seasons.
Oh, I
I
still fucking love Rick and Morty. I still watch every new season. I don't care what culture it has, what perception it has. I still think it's pretty good. I still like it.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of got that same thing that makes American Dad funny, right? Where every episode is just this zany kind of experience, and they kind of are able to, explore the creativity. That's what makes animated shows more special. When it's grounded like The Simpsons, or at least semi-grounded like The Simpsons, they run out very quickly of things that they can do. But with Rick and Morty and American Dad, in American Dad, you've got Roger, who can literally be anything, and in Rick and Morty, you've got a portal gun that can take you anywhere in the universe. So there's just endless amounts of creativity.
It's the good writing device. Like I call it the magic. There's probably a TV tropes page on it, but it's the thing that lets the characters do anything, and that's what lets the writers do anything. Like in JoJo's, it's stands. In Dragon Ball Z, it's ki. It's that force in your writing universe that says, hey, every character can now do whatever we want. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I think that's what separates them. I'm curious though, is there an animated TV show that has genuinely made you like keel over in laughter, like hurt yourself in laughter? What would you say is the funniest?
Good question.
An animated TV show? It has to be animated?
Yeah, it has to be animated.
I don't think a comedian has done that to me.
Oh, I know the answer. I found it looking it up. The Boondocks.
I've never seen it.
No,
I actually never watched that when it aired. I only ever saw it through clips.
So I was in high school when the Boondocks was coming out, and it was a fucking tradition of everyone there. When there was a new episode premiering, I think they premiered on Sundays on Adult Swim, you would talk about it that Monday. It was the show in the school. Maybe college. I'm misremembering. No, I think it was high school. But
it would have been high school for you.
It would have been high school. Yeah, I'm conflating it because I rewatched it in college, and we all really enjoyed it there too. But that show is one of the greatest written shows I've ever seen. Not just cartoons, but shows in general. It is smart, super funny, just fucking amazing. Just really, really amazing show. I can't recommend it enough.
So you still think that you would laugh as hard now?
I know for a fact I would, because my buddy Evan was visiting for a weekend, and we threw on some random episodes out of nostalgia, and it was still cracking us up really, really good. It's still very funny.
Real quick, this only matters to Andrew and I. There has still, in our entire history of being friends for like a decade, there has still never been a time that you've referred to Evan as anything other than my buddy or my friend Evan.
You're right.
For the entire time I've known you.
You're totally right.
That's fucking crazy.
I give a little reminder
That's his
text
entire
to my
identity.
friends.
It's so fucking cute. I've known Evan for like pretty much as long as I've known Andrew, and anytime he's ever mentioned him to me, he's like, do you know my friend Evan? Do you know my buddy Evan? Every time, without fail. It's fucking adorable.
That's how much Evan means to Andrew, though.
He always prefaces it with my buddy Evan.
It's probably because I don't know how else to start the conversation when I'm talking about him or any of my other friends. So I just go, hey, my friend, this guy? I've done that with Hayden as well. Yeah, I just never know how to start the conversation.
It's fucking cute, though.
It implies that you know more Evans than just the current Evan. If you've got to like signify that it's a friend.
It's funny. I think he's the only Evan I know, actually, to make it even worse.
Yeah, I don't know. If I were referring to people, I would just call them by their name. And then if they were like, if for some reason they asked, like, who is this person to you? Then I'd be like, oh, he's my friend. That's how I would explain it.
They start shaking you. What do you know about Evan? Who is he? What is your relationship to him?
He's my millions of Evans. Specify.
Is he your longest serving friend?
Definitely one of them.
Fucking military.
One of them. So I made the majority of my friends.
He's
Charlie,
honor guard.
Yeah, he's got his stars. We gave him a medallion. So I made the majority of my friends, Charlie included, while I was at college, and they've just all stayed my friends for the most part. So I've got a group of probably about 5 or 6 people where it's just like, yep, I met them all way back when. Still friends with them.
Do you still have friends from high school?
That's cute.
No, not really.
Do you?
No, not really.
I mean, I've got friends from high school, but it's like we keep in touch maybe like once every 8 months or so. It's not like we go hang out every weekend. I've definitely got closer friends now.
That's not a friend.
Yeah,
that's just more of a classmate.
No, you don't keep up. It's friend to some degree. It's just we've gone different directions in life, I guess. I get like the thing about high school friendships is that they're entirely based on proximity. Like you don't get to really choose. You just go to the high school, and then you've got a selection of people that you can be friends with. It's kind of like once you age up and grow up, then things change and you become different people. There's no shame in it.
Yeah, that's pretty normal. I still have 2 high school friends. Matt, who I've known since middle school, and then another one named Luke, who plays basketball with us.
Were you were you like, obviously you were friends with Matt in high school, like you just said. Was there a period of time where you went different ways and then re-met up later on in life? Or was it like always throughout that entire time you were this close?
Nope. In college, he took a year off to pursue professional basketball, and then he ended up not succeeding there because he hurt himself, and then he ended up going to my college, so we reconnected a bit there. And then after college, we stopped talking for like a year, and then ended up reconnecting after like a year.
So, moral of the story: even if you take breaks with friends, you can be friends again.
Yeah, I feel like a real friend, you can take years off and still like reconnect and be still just as close as you once were.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Kaya? What about you and high school friends? High school friends.
Oh, I had that one good friend, but I had to end that. I told you guys. And now I also, like Andrew, I've settled into a pretty cozy friend group.
Yeah.
Of just,
yeah,
these are my people. And I can chat openly in front of them in a group chat without any worry.
Things can also shift over the years with who becomes your friend,
I heard Jackson has a suitor, a friend in the making. Jackson, what's this I hear about your stalker? Did you want to tell people?
Oh.
Wait, no. Okay, Charlie, you know about this. I told Kaya about the...
Oh, yeah.
Is it something that we can actually talk about? Yeah. It's an actual...
Well, I woke up this morning and I checked my phone, and what do I see? My Discord server has like 20 notifications of people adding me and the moderators. And I'm thinking, what the fuck is happening? Is there another OnlyFans bot? Apparently there's a guy who wakes up every day at 6 a.m. to get into people's Discord servers and spam porn.
It's not just porn, by the way.
What do I know? Apparently, it's all Jackson's fault for sliding.
It's not my... Wait, no, it's not my fault. It's Charlie's fault. If we're going to blame anyone, it's Charlie. He started
this. No, it's not even my fault either. It's a schizophrenic guy who latched onto Jackson like a curse.
Okay, wait, give me all this context. What's going on?
He latched onto you. He only came for me because he wanted to get to you. It's absolutely
but now he likes you. He likes you a lot now.
No, he doesn't.
The fuck is that? Give people a brief backstory, Jackson.
Okay, I don't. Wait, before we go on, Charlie, how much of this can we talk about? Because it is actually being
definitely not all of it. The definitely not all of it, but definitely some of it is fine.
Well, okay, you take it then. I don't want to.
Is the law involved or something?
All right.
What are we missing out?
So, and we'll talk about it after this word from our sponsors.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. I don't think we have any sponsors for this episode, but if we do.
We do. Don't we?
Okay, we do? Okay, sweet.
I think we do.
I don't know.
Whatever.
We'll see. If there was a sponsor there, we did.
It's awkward if we don't. I thought we did. Shit. Oh, well. We have deadlines. Right. Anywho, sorry, continue. Had to get that in there.
No, it's all good. Charlie, go for it.
We can go over the basics. I won't use any names here because I'm pretty sure that's like the main thing that they want is just their name to be talked about. There is a guy who is infamous online as a schizophrenic, like unhinged, like legitimately mentally unwell individual. And it's someone that I had talked about one time and made jokes about. And this was like, 8 months ago maybe. For the last 8 months, they have never let it go, and then it latched on to Jackson to try and like talk more.
It's not okay. Apparently they've been doing it to a bunch of people in the community.
Yeah, not
your community, just
me.
the art community in like the YouTube art community in general. They've been doing it to a bunch of people, and I guess he targeted is such a dumb word because it was just stupid like smash porn, like Crash Bandicoot porn and smash porn. Rule 34 that he spammed on my Discord.
Sounds pretty good.
You don't want.
Oh, he'll meet you. Don't worry. Yeah, he'll find you. He dedicates his whole life to stalking people.
Oh fuck!
If you're even loosely connected to Charlie, he will join your server as Kyra is now finding out.
Oh god.
Yes. And spam porn in your server. So here's what happened with me, right? So I woke up one morning to same with Kaya in my personal Discord server, a bunch of messages from people saying, "Hey, this guy's spamming porn. Quick, solve it." So I deleted them, turned off all the invites, and banned his account. And then, like, I don't know, 6 hours later, there's a message in that private Discord from a user who had been in my server for like 12 months at that point. No, it was like 6 months actually. He'd been in my server for 6 months at that point. Yeah, he was like, "Hey dude, if you want more information about that guy, just message me because it gets weird." And I was like, "Oh, okay, I better find out what that's about." So I messaged this other user, and he starts to go on about like how much of an unhinged lunatic that this guy who was spamming porn is, and how he wants to get to Charlie, and how it's such an issue, and how he's been harassing him and his friends for so long, and creating such a hostile environment, and he's scared of him, and so on. And I was taking this fairly seriously at this point because I was like, "Shit, all right, I'll let Charlie know." And then eventually it came to light that this guy that was messaging me was that same dude who was only trying to get to Charlie through like messages and stuff. And so he is unhinged. And now he's doing the same to Clara, it sounds like.
Well, I don't have any DMs. I just got porn spammed, which...
That's the first step. That's how he makes
If you're trying to get someone to like talk to their friend on your behalf, like, "Hey, can you pass along this message?" A bad way to go about it is to spam porn in our servers.
Well, the guy is, I'm not kidding, he's actually mentally unwell. He's from Egypt, and he spends like every single waking moment of his life dedicated to stalking internet people, like for as much time as he can possibly muster for it. So he was latched onto Jackson for what, like 2 weeks, I think, Jackson, something like that.
Yeah, it was like it wasn't that long. It was like a week maybe.
Yeah. So now you're just kind of next on the docket, Kaya.
Yeah, and then he'll move on to Andrew.
One thing he does is he makes 1,000 Discord accounts from people in your server to try and impersonate them. So you'll probably get messages from like Brady or who you think is Brady or something, and it's actually just him.
That's how I figured out it was this guy. He was impersonating another fairly large YouTuber with a Twitter account that had like 100K followers. So I was kind of cluing into that this guy was obviously the guy that was messaging me was the guy that initially sent the porn, because he was just being so cringe about it, and like he was writing in like anime messages about how powerful this guy was and how I needed to take him seriously. And I was like, okay, this guy is definitely also either like super mentally unwell or also like involved in it. So I was like, all right, well, just message me from your Twitter account with the 100K followers, and then I'll know you're legit.
Is this the same guy who, to this day, on Twitter, he'll like tag us in his Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon battles with us in it?
I don't think so. He doesn't do anything besides...
I know who that guy is, Kaya, that you're talking about. No. I know that one. I don't know the one we're currently talking about.
It's not him. It's not him. It's not him.
Okay.
He's I can tell you this much. He's listened to every single episode of the podcast by this point.
Oh, thank you. Is he signed up for our Patreon?
Thanks for your viewership.
He can get bonus content by signing up for our Patreon.
He is 100% signed up for the Patreon. He might already be here. The levels this guy goes to stalk people
He's
is
right
actually
behind
pretty
me,
crazy.
He's in our house collectively.
The call's coming from inside the house.
He could be any one of us.
He could be anyone. It could be me. It's like the TF2 spy fucking video.
What is his end goal? Okay, so let's say... I don't even know what the fucking message is that he wants Charlie to know so bad.
His goal, I think, was for Charlie to make another video because he gets off like the attention, I assume. I assume that was the...
No.
It sounds to me,
intent.
mental illness aside, whatever that's doing, it sounds to me like he wants to get to Charlie to exert some sort of power. Like, oh, look, I scared you. Oh, look, make a video about me. Oh, you should be thinking about me. Some sort of shit like that,
I also think that it's like he's really salty about apparently being his YouTube channel was terminated. I don't know what exactly he did that caused this stuff to happen, but his YouTube channel was terminated, and I think he's salty about that.
How big was it?
It had like 5K subs. It was dedicated mainly to like spamming incomprehensible, like babbling gibberish music, and also just harassing other YouTubers. That's literally it.
This guy's going places.
Huh.
I'm amazed he didn't hit a mill.
It's legitimately his entire existence.
Yeah, it's so sad. He spends all day sending like fucked up Crash Bandicoot porn to people who might loosely be connected to people that he has a problem with.
Well, I would absolutely just ignore this sort of stuff. Who cares? Throw it in the spam folder. What I thought was funny is that one of my friends said, yeah, he does this every day at like 6 a.m. Eastern. And I thought, imagine getting up in the morning with this as your purpose, is posting Crash Bandicoot porn. This is the first thing you do before you even brush your fucking teeth. You're already in somebody's server with your Rule 34.
Imagine doing that and believing like you're an anime villain, like some guy with a massive power limit.
That was another thing he used to post. He used to post his own hype up videos. So he used to make these little speeches about himself where he'd put like a picture of hell, and he'd be like, he wasn't born on this earth. He was born down here. That kind of shit.
That reminds me of that Dungeons and Dragons roleplay guy who gave a long speech that they superimposed on anime. Who was that?
Oh, Arcadum, yeah. Imagine how powerful I could be if I was more than just a DM. The destruction I could cause. 17.7% of people I play D&D with will become my friends.
Wasn't Arcadum doing that for victims. Pussy? Wasn't he doing it for sex? Yeah.
More or less.
This guy isn't doing it for sex.
Well, maybe he is. Maybe he just really wants to have sex with Charlie.
Hey, that could be it.
Charlie, I hate to tell you this. It might be the truth. You might have to have sex with this guy just to stop the rampage, just to put an end to things.
Right now he's listening and blushing like, oh my god.
This is it. They figured it out. I finally, all this time, Senpai noticed me.
He can't come to terms with his attraction to you now. He's like, oh shit, that's actually true. It's giving me a lot to think about.
He's doing the anime thing where he's got his two fingers together.
Like a tsundere.
Yeah.
Not like I like you anyway, Baka.
Yeah. This line is pretty funny that he sent me. He's so the guy who was pretending to not be the guy he was pretending to be. His fake account, basically. He sent me. I asked him like, "What are you trying to accomplish with Charlie? Like, why do you want me to send this information to Charlie?" And this is pretty like telling. He says, "Bring more awareness. You can't exactly stop him," referring to himself. "You can't exactly stop him from getting madder. He will do everything to have his revenge." I was like, "Okay,
Revenge.
Jesus Christ, you loser." So it is about revenge.
I read that one. Yeah, that's what makes him sound like a villain.
Has he specified what the revenge is for at all?
I mean, Smash.
Yeah, what did you guys do to him to piss him off so much? Maybe you guys are in the wrong. I need the full story.
I didn't do shit.
Yeah, well, Jackson is actually blameless. He's just well known on YouTube for being like this degenerate schizo guy. And he was doing some super degenerate shit that a lot of people were asking me to look into. So I just very briefly took a peek at it, and I was like, yeah, this guy's a fucking loser. This guy sucks.
Well, because he did. He was like doing takedown videos on people.
Yeah, well, get this. The second I mentioned him, I had never even known about him before, except like 2 hours in the middle of a stream, people were talking about it. I was like, all right, I'll briefly take a peek. He comes into the stream with 5 alt accounts, one of them his main, the second I mentioned him, which is crazy timing. He doesn't live anywhere besides the cyberspace. He must have some kind of like system where anytime his name was mentioned, he was like pinged for it. It's fucking crazy.
Jesus.
Oh no, lolcows will literally name search themselves all day.
Yeah.
I don't know how he found his way into my server, though. It's not like advertised anywhere as far as I know. So I don't know how the fuck he got in. He must have been in there for like months ago. But regardless, there was another point in the conversation where I think I upset the guy who he was pretending to be, like his fake account. I think I upset him because he was like, oh, you got to take this guy seriously. And I was like, I've never heard of this guy. He sounds like a fucking loser. And then he was like, no, you got to take him seriously. And then he sent me a 2-hour documentary on himself that another YouTuber had made to kind of fill me in.
Did he send the one about him being the unhinged schizophrenic one that does like the full breakdown on him? Is he proud of it?
I don't know. Let me go check. I blocked his messages, so I didn't watch the video. I don't care enough about it. It's like the drama is funny to me, but I don't actually care about it. Fuck. All right, I'll have a look. You guys keep talking.
What a wacky man.
Good luck with your stalker.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
I don't know why
Good
you
luck,
at least Jackson got a message beforehand. I don't know why I was immediately hit with the nuclear porn option in my fucking server without anybody in my DMs reasoning with me.
No. He hit me with porn.
He did the porn first for Jackson, yeah.
Then I banned him. And then a different guy messaged me.
Yeah, just keep your eyes peeled on your DMs, guy. Actually, go right now, Kaya, and look at
That's how he
your
introduces himself.
Yeah. Check out your filtered ones.
Okay, so yeah, he sent
requests.
Okay, he said.
I'm not seeing anything.
I said, is there any evidence of this guy being a weirdo? Because this was at the point where I didn't know anything about him. And he replied saying the harassment and countless threats hurled at me and my friends' ways. Again, I urge you to watch this for the full rundown. And then that's a link to a video from about him. I don't know if that's the one you're talking about, Charlie.
Yeah, I think that's the one.
Yeah, it's 30 minutes long.
So it looks like he's pretty proud of that kind of stuff then. So his clear goal is just more and more people talking about him and making fun of him. It might be like a humiliation thing or something. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, he's probably got a small penis. I think we can probably put that out there.
That's probably a safe assumption.
That's why he lives exclusively through Crash Bandicoot porn.
Don't we all, though?
In a way.
in a way, in a self-reflective kind of way, in an existential kind of way.
He's such a fan of Crash Bandicoot, and I've never met a super Crash Bandicoot fan before. This is like literally the only one who still thinks about Crash Bandicoot to this day.
Crash Bandicoot's got a huge fan base.
It's still popular.
No way.
But don't those sort of people generally gravitate towards like Sonic?
Yeah, I feel like
when they grow up, yeah.
When you grow up.
Yeah, middle school is Crash Bandicoot. High school, that's Sonic.
Yeah, that's Sonic all day, baby.
Sonic is the worst. I don't understand how people take Sonic
is the
seriously.
Poster child for this kind of obsessiveness.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Did you guys see the new, there was a Sonic game announced recently? A YouTube trailer for it
that had frame drops in the trailer.
Yeah, it's like 10. It's running at 10 frames per second in the trailer itself, and I was like, "Yep, that sounds about right for Sonic."
Yep.
I did not see that actually.
Pretty amazing, just how much they can pump out, and just the best people can hope for is mediocre. Oh, it's fine. It's an okay game. Like that's Sonic's high.
I don't understand how it's still successful. Like I get the movies were great and stuff, but who's buying these games? Like who is actually supporting Sonic this much? It has such a fervent fan base. No, it's not children. It's not. No, it's not. It is like people like
mental
Chris
children.
I think it is.
Yeah,
it absolutely is. Like,
well, I'm surprised that Sonic has had staying power as opposed to My Little Pony. You guys remember those guys?
Yeah, I can't believe
they fell off the earth,
immediately disappeared.
Yeah, I was talking to a friend of mine who, as a child, watched it. Like, the blah blah blah. She's a lady and watched it as a little girl, and I was like, "Hey, what happened? Do you know what happened to this show? Because you used to be into it and watch this shit." And apparently, what happened is when the show ended, the one that got super 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 big with all the main characters like Twilight Sparkle and shit, they tried to reboot it and introduce like a whole new cast and be like, it's 10,000 years after My Little Pony, and here's the new cast. And it's like CGI 3D animated, and it's ugly as fuck. And just no one watched it, and no one liked it. And it was just fucking terrible. Yeah, all the bronies just abandoned it because it was just bad. Yeah. They just made a really terrible show after.
So I think they're on a new show now called Generation 5. And the reason I know this is because Christian is on Twitter rambling about how My Little Pony Generation 5 is a Russian psyop. So here he is, saying that Pony is Russian, as is the entirety of hashtag MLPG5. If you do not like Russia or Putin, please stop acknowledging MLPG5 at all. Thunder emoji, blue heart thunder emoji. So I really like that. I guess now Putin is running My Little Pony. I don't know what the Russians are doing
assets
exactly.
are the Bronies. Yeah, I think it's it's got to be because it just stopped, right? I didn't even know that like more stuff came out after Friendship is Magic. I thought they just like stopped the series, but if it's still going, then yeah, I don't know why Bronies aren't as big anymore. I guess it's just not good anymore. Maybe
a combination of a lot of things. The fad died as well. You know, that culture of the internet has changed. It's no longer one grand sweeping fad that just kind of pushes its way into everything. You know, like the Bronies were like putting themselves everywhere. Like, oh, here's a fan art, but I drew it as ponies. Oh, this TF2 server, it's run by Bronies, blah, blah, blah. Like it was just kind of everywhere. Whereas now on the internet, things are so scattered and everywhere that you don't get that as much, you know?
Well, I thought the internet now is like super tight and concise. It's only a few websites.
Yes,
really,
but the culture that it generates is so quick moving that things don't have that kind of forever impact, you know, where it's just always everywhere for years and years and years. People move on a lot faster and franchises kind of stick to their own bubble a lot more now on those websites.
Yeah, that's fair. Hey, did we talk about what happened with Xbox this last week, where they closed down like 4 or 5 of their studios?
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, no, we didn't.
Did you guys heard about that though? I think it was like four studios Xbox closed down. One of them, by the way, this is fucking broke my mind. One of them was the only studio that has produced like a game of theirs in the last like 10, 15 years that has actually won an award, like has actually done well. And so they make they make a great game that scored like over 90 on the Metacritic. Everyone loved it. It was like it was a darling game basically. And then
what was the game?
They closed Hi-Fi Rush. They closed the studio down the very next year. They just shut it down. They're like, no good games, no more. And all we're Microsoft, we're Xbox.
They had the fucking gall to come forward the next day and say, I think it was Matt Booty, I already forgot. Came forward the next day and it's like, we need smaller games that'll win prestigious awards for us. Right after shutting down that studio.
And then that studio had their announcement on Twitter and all the employees were replying to it and saying like, well, really didn't want it to end. Really liked my job. Thought we were doing good.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, well, fuck me, I guess.
They literally made it Xbox's only good exclusive game. And then this year, what does Xbox do with that, you know, really cool thing? They make it multi-platform. Their only good exclusive. They make it multi-platform, which fine. I guess that makes business sense since no one's fucking buying an Xbox anyway. And then they shut down the studio capable of making them good games. Like incredible stuff, Xbox. Fantastic. I guess something's got to pay for that $70 billion that they used to buy Activision.
Yeah, I mean, they just truly want to sink their own ship. They want to do everything in their power to keep people from buying Xboxes and to keep people from wanting their games. Jesus
Xbox
Christ.
has been a joke for like the last 15 years. Just shut it down at this point. It is embarrassing. It is embarrassing.
Yep.
I don't know where it all went so wrong for them either. Like the second they made the Xbox One, it's like they totally forgot that they're in the gaming space. They completely lost sight.
Yep.
I really, and we've said this for years, I don't know how people have been defending Xbox for the last 5 years. I don't get it. They have no games. They don't do anything right anymore. Their occasional good game, like whichever one decides to come out every now and then, is still multi-platform. Like it's not like it's only just Xbox anyway, but like they don't make games.
Yep.
They just don't.
Here's what I think. I think they're forward thinking in a way, because I really do think consoles are dying in general. I think we're moving away from consoles.
I think multi-platform is the future. It should be, yeah.
It is, but not when they tried to start this like 15 years ago or however long ago. They were still a thing back then.
Yeah. So I don't even have an issue that they're going multi-platform necessarily. My issue is entirely based upon the fact that they have about half of the industry now under their umbrella, and they still just refuse to make good games.
They refuse to make any games, not even just good games. They don't make any games.
So there is something fundamentally wrong with management at Microsoft or Xbox.
Yep.
I mean, definitely. I think something.
I'm going to stick out on a limb, and I'm going to corroborate what Charlie's saying. I think I can plant this flag in the sand. I think the very moment Xbox started becoming a joke, losing faith, losing steam, losing everything, was at the Xbox One reveal. I think from that moment on, their reputation took a hit, and they never recovered. Because number one, they call it the Xbox One, which is a terrible name, because it went from Xbox to Xbox 360 to Xbox One, which everyone thought was dumb. And also, it's shortened to X-Bone. And I don't know if you remember that time, everyone was calling it the X-Bone because they boned it up. They fucking boneheaded it. And I kept seeing jokes for X-Bone everywhere, like xbone.com, all this shit. So, already terrible. And then the E3 reveal, which I think it was E3, they did super clips of it, where the whole time they don't do games, which is what the problem is now. They go TV, sports, TV, entertainment, family TV. You're making a game console, not a fucking television cable box. And ever since that press conference, it has been nothing but them trying to expand the space. Be like, oh, we have sports. Oh, we have this feature. Oh, we have this subscription. Oh, this and this and that. But it's not good games, which is why people buy consoles. That's the one reason people buy consoles.
Everything else is ancillary, in my opinion. The fundamental issue is that they just do not make good games. They don't make good games. And it's crazy because they've got incredibly talented teams. They've got limitless amounts of money and capital behind them to make good games. And they still refuse to make good games. And then if one of their studios dares to make a fucking good game, they shut it down. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. It's like Starfield came out with a whimper. It's like where are they going? What are they doing?
God. Good old Starfield.
Every time, their whole strategy over the last 15 years has been, every time there's criticism, wheel Phil Spencer out and make him say, the games are coming. I swear, the games are coming. They're next year. And then next year comes and they release nothing worth talking about. It's hilarious. I mean, I think it's a management problem, right? I think it's definitely just management sucks at Xbox because they had the same problem with 343 Industries, the people making Halo, and that was from the ground up and a Microsoft built studio, right? So they chose everything there. They chose the management, stuff like that. I think they just have corporate suits that fail upwards endlessly at Microsoft and Xbox, and that's why we keep getting like just the dumbest decisions, no real forward momentum at all, because they're not invested, because they keep failing upwards. Like what kind of industry, what other industry where would a company like this let their entire C-suite, so all of their executives, retain their jobs after 15 years of just constant brand degradation?
Movies,
like Xbox,
movies, easy.
Hollywood as well. Yeah.
Yep, Hollywood, easy.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how Xbox now is such a joke when it was like, you know, a real competitor back in 2010. Yet these people still, they've been promoted in most cases. Like they've been patted on the back and they get bigger paychecks. Meanwhile, they're closing down.
Another reason I think
studios.
It's happening is because they've just lost all sense of identity. A very good example is Halo Infinite, where Halo Infinite had its reveal trailer and it had its ideas, and people were like, oh, wow, okay, this looks like it could be something. This is fucking interesting and cool. And then it goes through development hell, tons of delays, just like it's not good enough. Oh, it's not working. We don't like it. They rehire, unhire, fire, move around the team, all the shit. And then when the game finally comes out, what do we get? We get recycled mechanics from games that have already been out a long time and do it better. Like, oh, Halo's open world now, because these games are open world. Oh, we have a grappling hook now because these games have a grappling hook. And then a story that just isn't really even a story, because they introduced this main villain who's like from a spin-off from Halo Wars. and then he's not even there, and you're like fighting his fanboy, his like lieutenant guy who's like just showing up out of nowhere and going, I'm the main villain now. And it's very clearly their flagship title. Halo was Microsoft. It was just their big number one, throw it in the front property. Halo is Microsoft's Mario. That's how big it was. And they just don't even know what to do with it. They don't even know how to make it a flagship, how to make it represent Xbox and their consoles and everything. It's just nuts how incompetent they are.
Yeah. It's just crazy how easy it is to point to exactly when things go wrong, though. Halo 4 showed all the cracks and what would... Yeah. Like, it compared to the rest, like, it's not as bad, but it immediately started to show that they're kind of directionless. Yep. Like, they don't know what to do with it now that Bungie's given it to this 343 studio. They don't know where to take it.
And it's back to, they just copy others. There are interviews of Halo 2 and Halo 3, and the dev team, who at the time, of course, prime Bungie, back premium passionate people, they go, well, Master Chief is this big, nameless super soldier. You want to feel like you're a walking weapon, like you're a tank, like you're unstoppable. You want to fight the Covenant and just blow them away and be the hero that saves Earth. And then there's interviews with the Halo 4 team, which is an almost brand new team. And they're all going, well, what's Master Chief like on the inside? What's the person like? What's the human behind the gun feeling as he pulls the trigger? And it's like, you fundamentally do not understand Halo at any level, do you? Not at all. Because that's never what Master Chief is supposed to be. Even the books, which dive into the lore, say that he is explicitly an emotionless killing machine with no ties to humanity left whatsoever. But they don't get that. They don't care. They're just copying other trends.
I don't think it's that they don't get it. It's that they wanted to try something new because they weren't going to do that formula better, would be my guess.
I think what happened is games like The Last of Us came out and went, look, you can have a fun action shooter, but with emotion and character development and cutscenes where you give a shit. And they just wanted that. They just wanted to do that with Master Chief. Go, look, we can have the big alien sci-fi shooter, but Master Chief can cry. He can think about what he's doing. And it's like, that's not Halo. Halo is a big sci-fi epic. It's not, hey, why is this guy sad? You know what I mean?
To be honest, Halo 4, to me, its main problem wasn't the campaign. I actually I enjoyed the campaign to some degree. The multiplayer was a joke, though.
Okay. The multiplayer, I still think Halo 4's multiplayer is probably the worst in the franchise.
I think the whole game was underwhelming,
No, the campaign isn't, like, I replayed it not too long ago. It's not that bad compared to what was to come. But
Halo 5
it's still... Yeah, it's still just not very good, though. Like, you still end up killing the Didact in a fucking QTE. Like, it's still, I don't know, it's still weak. It's not very good.
It's not like the best campaign, but I don't think that was its main issue either at the same time.
It wasn't the main issue. But it was the multiplayer, the main issue there, which is what most people were playing Halo 4.
I mean, they had good ideas. What was the alien race they introduced in 4 that were like red and glowy and shit, and they had their own weapons?
Prometheans.
Like, those were a cool idea, and the way they were designed and their weapons looked aesthetically interesting. It was nice contrast to everything else, but it's like, I don't remember a single thing about them. I don't remember. Just nothing stood out. Nothing felt... Like the magic of Halo, like in Halo 2 in the very beginning, when you jump on that scarab and blow it up, it's like, oh, fuck, this is so much bigger, so much cooler than the first game. Oh, fuck, we're on Earth now. We got to defend Earth. That's so awesome. Whereas I played the campaign of Halo 4, and I barely remember it. Nothing stuck with me.
So I don't know. Thinking about it, I don't. It might be an impossible task at this point because there's been so much distance between each release that I think that format of game just doesn't work in the current industry. As in, like, it comes out and people play it for maybe like 2 weeks and then they move on. I can't think of like many shooters that come out and hold people's attention for that long, really. And Halo might be just too far gone at this point.
I think a huge thing, and it's something we've talked about, is how long it takes to make games now. So you can't do what Halo and Halo 2 did, because Halo 2 came out, a year after Halo 1?
Yep.
Maybe a year and a half? Like, it was so short. And they made a fucking masterpiece with Halo 2. You don't see that anymore. Games, they take so long to develop. You'll never have that again. So you have to invest for the years and years. So they're so expensive, and you don't want to take any big risks. You want to play it safe, and it just leads to people getting bored of it because they played all this shit before.
And a big reason is because back then it was very, very easy to asset flip, but in a creative and worthwhile way. So let's use God of War, for example. If you take the first God of War and the second God of War on PS2, there's a lot of reused assets. Now, there's plenty of new stuff and new mechanics, new weapons, but I'm pretty sure, for example, the model of Kratos is the exact same model used in the first game. And then they take stuff they've already built, things they've already designed, combat mechanics they've already had, like the combos for the Blades of Chaos are exactly the same, it plays exactly the same, blah, blah, blah. So it's really easy to just go, okay, we'll reuse all this and we'll add all this stuff in. Meanwhile, look at the new God of Wars. How much between the two new God of War games was reused? Almost nothing. You know, they have to remake brand new stuff from the ground up for the whole game. You know what I'm saying?
Wasn't there a controversy about them reusing animations?
Yeah, and that's another point. When you do get that, people go, oh, this is the first game.
Lazy.
It's just the first game. It's lazy. Lazy.
They did it with Aloy as well in Horizon Zero Dawn and Forbidden West because she uses the same animation when she like grapples down from like a vantage point or something. Like people were like posting comparison pictures, and it's like it's such a dumb complaint. Like give us asset reflips if it gets these games out faster and under budget.
I just thought of a perfect example. One of the most celebrated games of all time, Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. That game is 90% assets from Ocarina of Time. Literally straight ripped from that game, not even changed. And yet because Nintendo knew to make a new creative system with the time mechanics, they made a whole new brand new game that everyone loved. No one cared that they reused stuff because they made something new and fun and they did it quick. And Majora's Mask, I think, was a year and a half.
You want to talk reused assets? Pokemon.
Pokemon too, baby.
But I think that's a great example of lazy asset flipping. I think because they don't change anything else besides just reusing the assets. That one I think is a great example for why it has a negative reputation.
A successful asset flip is when you don't even realize it's an asset.
Tears of the Kingdom is a good example of making something new out of an asset flip. It's mostly the same stuff, but hey, look, we have the entire building mechanic now. This changes the game entirely. You know, that's a good way to do it, and people like Tears of the Kingdom. But the problem is that now most games have to be this entire brand new from the ground up experience, and it just, if it's a sequel, adds so much time and so much development that you normally didn't need to do in the past.
Yeah. Fallout New Vegas is another really good example. That game is mostly Fallout 3 assets, but because it's such a unique setting and a different feel to it, you probably couldn't tell that it's an asset reflip unless you like directly look.
It also has a good story. Like Fallout 3 had a dog shit story, and most people just like that game because it's, wow, I'm in Fallout, ha ha ha. Whereas New Vegas came around and went, hey, you can be in Fallout and have a really good story. You can have both.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, look, my point, to go back to the Microsoft thing anyway, they have enough studios where they can put out a great game every, like, 3 months. It's beyond ridiculous that they don't at this point. And so, let's wrap it up. Let's change something over at Microsoft, huh? Or at Xbox. Because it genuinely is like an... No, they're $1 trillion company. It's like an extremely bad thing for Xbox to die this slow, painful death that's embarrassing because all it does is it makes Sony lazy. We need competition in the video game industry. We need it to breed innovation and stuff like that. So if Xbox dies, that is a very bad thing. So change something, please.
I don't know, man. I've been enjoying indie games so much more than AAA games recently. Same. Another Crab's Treasure is probably my game of the year right now. I fucking love Another Crab's Treasure. Animal Well from Big Mode that just came out, also a banger. Like, I don't know, indie games
I am excited to play those. All I've been playing for the last 6 months is either Nintendo or indie games, because I know Nintendo's still going to make good games, and all the indie games that are coming out, it's fucking amazing. Helldivers 2. I still have a blast playing Helldivers 2. It's still great.
Okay, well,
Not necessarily indie, but yeah.
Gab.
Well, yeah, that's a bit more sticky. I'll give you that. But still, smaller studio, more focused product,
Yeah, but it's published by Sony. They funded it, so.
You know what I mean? Come on.
Oh, another one that I'm excited to play. I'll probably play it tonight is Crow Country. That's another indie game that looks so fucking good.
Yeah.
I've heard that's really good.
It looks really good. A lot of really cool stuff coming out from indies, definitely. And that's been the way for the last 15 years.
Yeah, it does look like it'll bleed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Crow Country. Even the main girl.
Yeah, really cool. Anyway, Assassin's Creed Shadows is coming out soon, so that's where I'll be spending the next year and a half of my life.
God damn it, Jackson.
That.
God damn it. You're part of the problem.
talking about indie games and stuff like that. But no, I'll be playing Assassin's Creed Shadows. It was just announced Japanese.
Are you going to 100% it again?
Yeah, well, I've got it. I've 100% of the other 3 big ones. So.
Why?
I got to. It's my reputation.
No, you don't.
It's my reputation, Kaya. No, I refuse.
That's not a good reputation.
I don't care. It's my reputation.
Do you have fun doing that for real? Actual fun?
I think I've finally come to terms. I think I was trying to put on a brave face in front of you guys that I wasn't having fun, but I don't think that I would have to have had fun for me to do it. So I think I was having fun. It's not the gameplay though. It's because the settings are so good. Like Odyssey is a fantastic recreation of ancient Greece, and so is Origins for ancient Egypt. So I think that's what gets me through it. I think the settings are really good. Okay, so I'll be traveling to Japan in Assassin's Creed. I'm canceling my in real life trip to Japan. I'm going to be dedicating the time instead to Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Just play Ghost of Tsushima. That's the same thing, but an actually good game.
No.
Okay, fair.
Simple enough. All right.
Can't argue that. You're right.
Can't argue with that.
I've already played that.
Did
you guys ever do the True Achievements Challenge?
There's plenty of Samurai Ninja games, man. You got 1,001 of them. You don't have to play Assassin's Creed.
Again, for all of its flaws, they do a pretty great job at like recreating these historical settings fairly accurately. So that's what I'm excited for with Shadows. It'll be like
I think Sekiro did too. I'm pretty sure there's a giant white albino snake plaguing all of feudal Japan.
Yeah, that was pretty accurate. Someone did ask in chat just then. I want to bring this up because I don't know if we ever talked about it. Did you guys ever do True Achievements Challenge, tagging me and Charlie? We did. I won. Charlie still contests that, but we did.
I just you did you did the stupid goddamn Xbox indie games.
So what? You were just complimenting indie games, you hypocrite.
Well, okay, wow. You know what I'm talking about. No, you literally did like flash games on the Xbox
there were
Arcade
no rules.
For your achievements.
We didn't set any kind of rules. So I won.
We should have set rules.
There's a gentleman's agreement.
There was no gentleman's agreement. There was no honor in achievements. You get as many achievements as possible to be the victor.
So you just played like Sudoku and Wordle and shit? That
is actually worse. He played even simpler games.
It was just like story games.
Jackson, do you remember the light up game? There was a game Jackson 100%ed that I saw. It was a game that was just a series of lights, and you have to hit it in a particular order. It's just these like green and blue lights.
So Simon Says.
Yeah, it's literally like Simon Says. It's like that fucking Dave and Buster's thing where you just click a bunch of lights. Jackson looked up the guide for what lights to click so he could get it as quickly as possible.
Oh man, I gotta stop bringing tea to these recordings. I just spilled tea all over myself again. Fuck.
Why do you keep doing that?
I don't know.
Because he's so gadzooks. All over me. He's astounded.
Oh, I'm
Is it your thing? Oh gosh, you guys, I got tea on myself again.
I gotta go. I can't talk about this anymore.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said about the achievements. I gotta clean up this tea. Bye.
Fuck. I actually do have it's all over me. I'm so
That's so crazy.
Well,
how do you like?
You're not off the hook, brother.
Because the tea's in front of me.
Convenience.
Yeah. No. Okay. Well, I can sit here and take it while I'm covered in tea. I still think that is completely fine. To do that, there were no rules set, and you could have done it too. Like you could have battled me in the fields of shitty indie games.
I did a couple of them when I saw you doing that. I was like, holy shit. Okay, I guess I'll have to. So I did like 3. I did the. God, this one was fucking miserable. There was one where it was a paper image of a guy, and you like run around this little maze map. And Jackson used a guide to know which direction to go on the maze map. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll just have to fucking do this. And it was so awful. Like, I actually remember feeling so bad doing it.
Yeah, because here was my strategy. I knew that you would have to like do the same games if you wanted any hope of catching up, basically. And I could do it perfectly fine because I just did it like while watching YouTube or something, but I knew you were streaming it, so I knew you'd have to sit there in front of your audience, your live chat, and play these awful games for hours on end in front of them if you had any hopes of catching up. So that was
what a
like
great competition that was. Meanwhile, the games I was 100%ing were cool ones like Bayonetta or God, what was the other one I 100%ed? Was it Oblivion? I can't remember now. But I
mean, it was
Bayonetta.
Oblivion, but in the sense that you like only had 2 achievements left, so you just jump back in from your like late save.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right. That's what I did on Oblivion. But I was 100% in great games.
Jackson won in technicality, and Charlie won in spirit.
Amen. Fucking
yeah.
Another one I did that was the Nickelodeon Smash game. That was a fun one.
Oh, you 100% of that?
Yep, I 100% of that.
So you weren't even really interacting with the competition. You were just 100%ing fun games that you enjoyed.
Yeah, because those are the ones that mean something. I'm not fucking happy about 100%ing Goofball's Goof Adventure or whatever.
The competition was to just get as many points as possible. That was the competition.
I just never would have expected you'd sing solo.
Shut up. I wasn't going to play
a betrayal.
100-hour. I didn't want to lose. I knew you had more time to dedicate to it, given that you like at the time were spending like 12 hours a day streaming. So, and you had an audience to help you out. So I needed every trick in my bag to pull victory, and I did. So I'm happy with it.
How does the audience help him get achievements?
I don't know.
No. They absolutely do. With multiplayer achievements, I would have to like look around on forums for people to. Well, but if you did, then you would have an easy way of getting people on to like boost you to like multiplayer achievements and stuff, which I didn't have the ability to. You definitely had an advantage with the audience. Plus, people telling you what to do and stuff. You had like a million guides watching you, basically. Anyway. So this is just all to announce that we'll be doing another achievement competition, Assassin's Creed Shadows, first one to 100% wins.
No word.
Yeah,
that sounds so fucking miserable.
Do it. We'll do it. 100 Assassin's Creed Shadows, whoever can 100% it first.
I will absolutely not be doing that.
Do it. Come on. It'll
Jackson,
be so
you will
fun.
never find another human being alive who will do that with you.
No, I'll do it. Here, I'll do it, and if I beat you to 100%ing it, you have to move to America. How's that for stakes?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Till next
what do I
week.
get then?
Holy fuck.
What do I get then? You have to move to Australia if I win?
Oh, absolutely not. I can't fly. I have a condition.
Jackson, you get $20.
Yeah,
you get the bragging rights again.
Yay. No, I won't. You come up with something completely different, and then I'll accept your challenge. I'm not moving to America. I'm not. All right, that's gonna do it for this episode, though. Leave some friendly encouragement for Charlie to take me up on my 100% Assassin's Creed Shadows challenge. Call him a pussy if he doesn't. You'll love it.
Nobody wants that. Nobody wants a 100% Assassin's Creed Shadow competition.
I think people probably do want to see you miserable. Yeah. See, yeah. Let's do it.
Only because it's fucking terrible. Jackson spent 100 goddamn hours in Assassin's Creed Valhalla collecting flowers or something. Like, that's not fun. That sucks.
No, I spent 100 hours stacking stones in Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
You're right. That's what it was.
All right, wrap us up, Jackson.
All right, thank you. Patreon.com/theofficialpodcast for bonus episodes, bonus content, Red Thread. Fuck, what was Red Thread this week? We just did Jonestown Massacre. That's up on Patreon, early access. Criminally Stupid is still up there with exclusive access. That'll be coming out later this week on YouTube channels. Thank you very much for supporting us, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.